Hello guys, welcome to Filament Daily. Today I want to show you an example how you can use raw queries, raw SQL queries inside a Filament dashboard widget or table. We released this as a premium project on our Filament examples. In the list of project you can see this, raw SQL usage, and inside of that we have 5 different examples. In this video I will show you 2 of them, the main principle that you need to know. So there's dashboard widget, grouping by date and project, calculating the amount of revenue for example. Then there's metrics, for example, so grouping table by server ID in this case, calculating various parameters of server. Then there's movies grouped by movie title, which is fake, and then the status, watched or unwatched. Similar example is tags grouped by name and other parameters, and also transactions grouped by month, which is a calculated field on the MySQL level. So basically those 4 tables come down to one example of modify query using. Let me demonstrate. So one example is metric resource, metrics of servers, and imagine you have these fields in the database. So load, memory total, used, and others, and you want to get average of those, rounding that by 2 digits, and then grouping by server ID. So this is exactly how you would do that in Filament. You modify query using and you modify the select. And in here in the array of select, you may specify either columns or DB raw with any raw operation of data, including these ones like round and average. And then you can group by raw one or more of those columns. And then in the columns, you just do text column, nothing really fancy. So for example, memory total corresponds to as memory total here in the DB raw. So basically to use raw queries in Filament, all you need to know is how to write raw queries here on Eloquent and Laravel level. Now with chart on the dashboard, it's a bit different story, a bit different code. So in the chart widget here we have getData function with raw query that has nothing to do with Filament at all. It's a general DB table with DB raw and whatever raw query you prefer. For example, case when, concat operation here, some date format and other MySQL functions used, but the result of that is 3 fields. As title here, then we have as day here, and as count. So we have title, day, and count. And then we have a function, private function to chart data, which works with that get collection and transforms it into the specific format that Filament chart is expecting. So we have collection, we have labels from another function, and then we perform the collection operations. So group by title, remember we have title, day, and count. So we group by title, and then do for each in that collection, and then we go item day and item count and assign those to product data and return that as data set. Again, I'm describing the overview, the principle. If you want the full code, the link will be in the description below. But basically, if you want to use raw queries in charts or other widgets, you just go and do raw query on Eloquent level or Laravel level, DB query builder, and then transform that collection into the actual data format that chart is expecting. In the description below, I will also link the documentation about chart widgets so you would have more context how those widgets work. They expect data sets and labels, whether they are static like in this case or come from Eloquent or database query builder with raw query. What do you think? What other interesting use cases of raw queries in Filament have you had in your career? Let's discuss in the comments below. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.